Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
The Toronto Maple Leafs lost an actual National Hockey League game to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver who works for them! They just lost to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver who works for the team!
It could have been worse, Flames fans. It could have been worse. The Calgary Flames could have lost to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver who works for the team. Welcome to Game Over Calgary. My name is Auddie James. Joining me again today, my good pal James Johnson. And this is the 2-year anniversary of the infamous Steve Dangle LFR. I believe it was LFR 13 when the Toronto Maple Leafs lost to the Carolina Hurricanes against David Ayres. So I would be remiss if I didn't at least put the clip in. Robert already saying Steve is going to kill me. That's okay. It's well worth it. If I get written up, I don't know. I haven't been written up yet. I've tested the limits. I've pushed buttons. I've bit the hand that feeds, if you will. But I could not play this because it's the it's the 2-year anniversary, and that was fun. But welcome to the show, JJ. It was a game, man. That was that was a game. I almost had to break out Old Faithful. I had it waiting beside me this whole time because I was damn sure that we were going to have to break it out.
Oh, like, you know that Pierre Dorian clip where I think it's David Amber asks Pierre Dorian what he thinks about the Ottawa Senators, and he says, "We're a team." That's the Calgary Flames. They're a team.
They're a team. I'll correct myself as well. Rob pointing out it's the 3-year anniversary, so that's to make matters worse. Sorry, I checked YouTube. It must not have updated because it said 2 years, but I guess the LFR was uploaded later in the evening, if I could get my words out. So it would have updated to 3 years by now. But either way, that was a game. That is a hockey team that played against another hockey team at an arena that camera angle. I mean,
oh my God,
that was bad. I sent a message out and I said, I'm pretty sure the Dragons on any given night have a better camera angle in the AJHL. And that's a camera that's ran by a Dragons healthy scratch. So a player who has no interest in running the camera is running the camera any given night, and it's a better camera angle. But that was quite the view for quite a game.
Oh man, like I think like the first period I had such a headache just from that angle. Like the final couple periods I did adjust to it, but I saw you tweeted out, I saw a bunch of people tweeting out, and I was like how do Arizona fans want? Well, I mean, there's not many of them anyway, but
sure.
We'll spice up the bat.
But I wouldn't bet against a Arizona sellout because apparently they've been selling out. But hey, want to bet? Then get in on the action with Sports Interaction. The boys of summer are back on the diamond, and March Madness is on deck. Let's go, Blue Jays. Bet pregame, live and play, or on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN, or if you are in the beautiful province of Ontario, the motherland, as I like to call it, download the app using the QR code at the bottom of the screen. This guy right here will be on the screen for the duration of the show. If you're in Ontario, be sure to scan that. And if you're with Sports Interaction already, it'll take you right to it. If not, it's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus. Please play responsibly, and if you or anybody you know has any gambling problems, please be sure to check the show notes in the comments. In the description, lots of resources in there for you to reach out and get some help with gambling. Okay, it could have been the Juuso Vejmelka revenge tour. He got a point. He played pretty well. I think he actually played a pretty solid game.
I was impressed.
I was impressed too, and it shed a slight tear. Heading back to our days of when we had the privilege to chat with one Sushi Juice. Such a good dude.
Love that guy, man.
Such a good dude. Yeah, he's I'm glad he's thriving in Arizona. He signed an extension as well, which is nice. So hopefully his career gets back on track in the desert.
Sushi Juice,
baby. Yeah, Mr. Sushi Juice.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And hey, Clay Mo, who is also a Barn Burner guest, is now a part of SDPN as well. Joining Kaya and Sam Chang with Game Over Vancouver. So lots of connections there to the OG Barn Burner. but yeah, it was a game. I have some notes here. One of the things I kind of wanted to start with is goaltending because everybody, and myself included, I'll eat my shoe, I'll eat crow, whatever the case may be, whatever people want me to eat. I'll eat my words. A lot of people calling for more Vladar starts, and it was rightfully so for a while. But the past few starts coming into this game, Vladar posting an 899 save percentage and a 279 goals against average. So that coming into that game, both Flames goaltenders coming in below 900. Markstrom at 889 and 293 respectively. Halfway through the game, he was at like 750 save percentage. And they finished the game due the Yotes with 14 shots on goal, 3 of which entered the back of the net. And there were probably 3 shots within the last 5 minutes of the game because it did not look like they were going to surpass 10. It didn't look like they were going to eclipse the 10 mark. Cause for concern. Do you think that goaltending is starting to be a bit more of a prevalent issue with the Calgary Flames, seeing as Vladar has had a couple back-to-back stinkers, and Markstrom has kind of been on that stinker all year?
I think it's the biggest issue now, if nothing else. I mean, Huberdeau had a bad game tonight, but I think he's kind of turned things around.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Vladar was so good for like the first half of the season, and now I think it was Detroit last Thursday where I think he had like a 792 save percentage. Now this game, what did he end with tonight? Here, let me just check. Probably like under 800 again, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the quick math,
786.
the quick math on the
Like
top of my head says it's not very good.
like that's rough, man.
That's
And
not pretty.
Markstrom has been putrid.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
So like when you're out shooting a team, what were the final shots? Like 51 to 14?
52 to 14 in favor of Calgary.
Like just based on those shots, you would think the game is like 4-1, maybe even 5-1. Like,
You would think. And
but
to the credit of Vladar and left-handed penman pointing it out, and other people in the chat as well, saying, "Hey, give him a bit of a break. Good power play goal, a 2-on-1, a 10 of own goal." People were saying, "What were the Yotes' high danger chances?" Because he made some good saves. Yeah, I can understand that too, but I don't think we're having that same conversation if the Flames lose this game, and they still put up 52 shots. Well, we might not be. It might not be the main focus because if they still put up 52 shots and laid a stinker that way, I think we're talking about more finishing, which has kind of been another topic all year that the Flames have greatly struggled with. But going the other way and talking about Karel Vejmelka, or as Ryan Pender likes to call him, Caramel Vejmelka, he had himself a good game. He's so good, man. 52 shots faced. The Flames peppered him, and they weren't the usual perimeter shots. They were getting down low. They were getting some chances pretty close. 46 save performance in the loss. Your thoughts on Vejmelka tonight?
Vesna, baby. Like he's been my like sneaky fantasy pickup in most of my leagues because I reached high on Demko in one league. I had Markstrom in another league. Like my goaltending has just been shit, kind of similar to the Flames.
Yep.
So Vejmelka's been a guy that I've always because he's always available because I even saw some Flames fans this morning saying like, "Who is this guy?" And I'm like, "You don't know who he is? Like he's having."
Oh yeah, I saw in. I'll call him out in the dome. They're like, "Who is Karel Vejmelka?" I'm like,
Vesna, baby.
What? Like he's been the story with the he's been a top trade chip too for the Yotes. Like some team is going to go out and pay for Karel Vejmelka, likely for the rest of the year. We'll see what happens, but. To not know, like he's played against the Flames before. This isn't the first time the Flames have seen this guy.
He is 12th in goals saved above expected in the entire league with 12.9. So without him, the Coyotes are probably bottom of the barrel, and with him, I think they're 5th last in the league.
Yeah, they probably want to get rid of him. They probably
Yeah, they're
should.
probably
Like,
go on a vacation.
stop
Like,
being so good, please, for the love of God. There's this guy waiting in the ranks called Connor Bedard who we're trying to, and the Yotes are notorious for that too. Let's not forget that Mike Smith was once an Arizona Coyote, leading this team to a conference final, which was
ugh,
crazy. He was
yeah,
making 50 save wins when he was a Coyote for years. He was so good with the Yotes, and I'm not knocking Vejmelka, but it's more so just um a knock at the Yotes and kind of how historically bad they are at allowing so many chances and having to rely on guys like Mike Smith who stood on his head, and now Karel Vejmelka as well.
yeah.
Let's head to the comments first. Check out what's going on in the chat before we get ahead of ourselves too far, because there's a few things that I wanted to bring up with you as well in regards to maybe some more positive things, because like I had full intentions, and I'll be fully transparent with you. I had full intentions on coming into this game overcall and going full Leafs lose to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver, Steve. Um, Talking about the Flames losing to an AHL team, pretty much. I can't really say that because they've got some good players, some good pieces, but a team that they should have beat, and they did beat. So we don't have to go down that avenue. Conrad saying I better praise him because at 3-1 he said he was cursed. So he said he stopped watching the game at 3-1, went and played FIFA instead, and the Calgary Flames come back to win. I might add as well, can we put the Auddie curse to bed? This is 2 in a row. That's a streak,
I
baby.
don't
That's
know,
2 in a
man.
row. And it's a winning
Here's
record.
here's what I'll add to that. Okay,
All right, go ahead.
the last two games you have had me on
That's
with,
true.
and do you know what my record is now on Game Over?
You've been on 5. This is your 5th time? 6th time. So you're 5-0-1.
I am
You have no
5-0-1.
regulation losses. That's pretty damn
I'm like
good.
Boston Bruins level right now, man. Like I
Ah,
think it's maybe the Audi curse hasn't died yet, but maybe you're just
maybe
kind of
it's
getting some,
maybe it's the
you got like something over your shoulder boosting you
JJ
up.
bump.
JJ bump. There you
The
go.
JJ bump. It's funny because I was texting the SDPN group chat today, and I was like, "Hey, like, I got James coming on again. I booked him in ages ago. Is it a bat? Is it too like? Is it okay if I have a back-to-back guest? Because like last time was obviously the previous guest couldn't make it, and I had to call you in as an e-bug. And
E-bug.
Robert was like, "Oh yeah, of course. Everybody loves James. Like, yeah, the chat loves
Nice.
James. Everybody loves James." Robert's like, "Yeah, go
Oh.
ahead." So if that's any credit, a lot of people in the chat appreciating you as well. The Coyotes are 13-9-2 at home and 7-20-7 on the road. This Yotes team can win
Wow.
games at home if you let them, and they were almost capable of doing so tonight. Billy Thrasher saying, "Auddie get a win. Don't know if I can handle it. I can hardly either." Let's see here. Worst flame for me tonight was Anderson, which I hate saying because I love that guy, but his positioning was terrible. That one coming from Wyatt. At one point, Vejmelka had a 975 and Vladar had a 625. I'm as happy with a successful must-win as the next guy, but that still unsettles me a little bit. That one coming from Gabriel
So,
Leclerc. Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. That's a tough one to read. Doogie, what's up, buddy? How are you? Yo, what's up, Auddie? Good Flames win, and it shows what happens when you have someone like Duehr with energy and Hop on the fourth line who's hungry. We're gonna touch on Walker Duehr in a little bit because I found myself saying, "Holy hell, the fourth line looks like the best line through like the first 40 minutes of the game." And then I remembered, oh, there's this guy who's playing on that fourth line now who just happens to have some speed, some scoring touch, a little burst of youth to kind of motivate the lug boats on the fourth line. And he made Milan Lucic look good tonight. I'll say it. He made Milan Lucic look okay tonight. That you gotta give credit when credit's due. Milan
all
Lucic
right,
was
you know
not as
what?
detrimental tonight as he normally is.
He shot the puck at the net. It went in. Oh, good job, Milan. I guess I don't know, but Walker Duehr. We'll talk about it later. Love that man.
We
So
will. We will. We will. You and Steve Dangle hoping Vejmelka gets traded for their fantasy teams. This is probably true, I'm sure, for you.
oh yeah, please.
Vejmelka is probably going to be traded for a high draft pick. The Yotes have already got 18 draft picks in the first 3 rounds over the next 3 years, which is crazy. I saw that graphic on the broadcast today. Francis saying that he has never seen a team have 18 picks in the first 3 rounds for 3 years in a row.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
That's unheard of. That's a stupid amount of draft picks.
Yeah.
What's that?
Like,
3, 6. Yeah, that's like an entire 4 lines, and then what's the math there? 2, 4.
I
It's
think
an
that's
entire forward line and 3 D
yeah,
pairings. You
yeah.
could
Like
pretty
that's
much ice an entire new
that's the
team.
entire team pretty much.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. The Conrad curse is real. That is correct. But you saved yourself by turning the game off. We'll call Steve and hire JJ. That one coming from Robert.
Ooh.
Eyes emoji.
Eyes.
Give props to Peltier. Can't wait for the younger guys, Zari, Coronado, and Wolf to come up next year. That one coming from Monty. And then Robert saying, Walker, Texas Rangers, South Dakota, and Duehr. Duehr?
Duehr.
I hardly
know her.
I was
I
waiting.
love that joke.
I was waiting for that. We're gonna talk. You know what? No better way to segue than to talk about Walker Duehr right now, because he was incredible. I'm just pulling up the final game sheet tonight to see kind of what his stat line looked like.
What was his number?
What number? Yeah, I hope nobody asks. I know Julian's in Arizona right now. I really hope he doesn't ask him about Duehr. Okay, but for a fourth line from the fourth line, Walker Duehr finished with 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points, +1, which is a great stat. We all love plus minus. 4 shots on goal, which is great. 1 hit. Any guesses how much ice time Walker Duehr had tonight?
I want to say like
Let's set the over under 11.
Ooh, that's more than I expected. I was gonna guess like 947, but maybe I'll jump it up to like 1053.
1302.
What?
Which is unprecedented for Daryl Sutter.
What?
Right? That's unheard of. That's unheard of ice time for a guy of that age who's a recent call up, injected into the lineup. Yeah, that's good, right? It's 1302.
What was Lucic's ice time?
Milan Lucic played. Okay, you want to play the guessing game?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess
I'm not gonna set an over under.
Like 1102.
1317.
Ugh.
He played 15 more seconds. To put that into perspective, Trevor Lewis played 1246. So he was still like among the bottom. They just deployed the fourth line a lot more. They really spread the ice time out amongst forward groups, it seems. Like,
makes sense.
Like
if
Peltier,
back, I guess.
Yeah, Peltier played 14-15. Let's see, among forwards, it looks as though 16-25 for Mangiapane. Looks like that kind of led the way. And then a whopping 22 minutes and 19 seconds for Noah Hannafin led the way for defensemen as well. So, yeah, they kind of spread things out. And I kind of got into the rabbit hole looking at time on ice. But to bring it back to Walker Duehr.
Duehr?
Oh, yeah, that joke's never going to get old. That joke's never, ever going to get old. But yeah, it was great to see what he brought to that fourth line. I like actually reading that time on ice and seeing him getting rewarded with more ice time. But he looked stellar out there.
Oh yeah, like I don't know. Some people know this on Twitter. I was a big Garnet Hathaway guy when he was in Calgary. I was like, this is your ideal fourth liner because he's not like a big lug that just makes my eyes hurt when he's skating around the ice.
Right.
Garnet Hathaway is fast and he's got, he plays on the edge, all that kind of stuff. And I liked Walker Duehr when the Flames signed him, and I was like, this is a Garnet Hathaway clone. I'm gonna like this guy a lot, and boom, that's exactly what he is, and I like him. Great name, great story. I think he's the first player from South Dakota to ever play in the league. Like
that's crazy too. Don't you think that's crazy?
South Dakota's own Walker Duehr.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. South Dakota's very own, the first to ever do it, the best to ever do it. He's the best. He's the
First,
best. That's got to be cool too. He's the best hockey player from South Dakota. In
I really
addition,
hope we're getting that right, and he's not from like North Dakota.
I'm pretty sure it's South. I'm pretty sure it's South.
Okay.
If anybody in chat wants to wants to correct us, I'm pretty certain
I was
it's
pretty
South
sure. Yeah.
Dakota. I feel like North Dakota because they got Nodak, which is a pretty like I'm pretty sure is a Div 1 school. You would imagine that would have some influence on hockey out there, and I'm pretty sure there's players from North Dakota in the NHL.
I would assume so.
But that's just a blind guess. That's a shot in the dark. That's a throw it dart at the dartboard and hope that lands. South Dakota is just prairie and a monument, says J Money. Yeah, so 31 people in chat. Thank you for swinging by. This has been Game Over Calgary so far. The Calgary Flames winning 6-3 over the Arizona Coyotes in a nail biter of a contest. What could have been a real heartbreak turns out to
close.
It had all the makings of being one of the most flamesy. And the craziest thing about this game is it just completely summarizes the Flames season this year. Right? The up and down,
Yep.
the up and down, the good, the bad, the shit, like it had a little bit of everything. The power play was good tonight, but like I looked at the where they rank in the league. I believe coming into the game, they were at 19% on the power play, which was good for 25th in the NHL. How Kirk Muller is still employed. God love the guy, but like that's an abysmal fucking power play number, and you know that man just runs the power play. But yeah, good on him, I guess, for securing a job and keeping it real there. But yeah, it could have been catastrophic. But to the 31 people, we appreciate you being here. Please be sure to like the stream, share it, get some more people in here as we. A lot of people like it when I say I stole the line from PK as we put a bow on Game Over Calgary on the eve of a win over the Arizona Coyotes. Okay, another player I wanted to talk about, and it shouldn't come as much of a surprise, but Jacob Pelletier had himself a fucking whale of a game. That kid is going to be a stud, and we're just seeing the start of it right now. We're just witnessing the tip of the iceberg for the potential with this kid.
Yeah, I don't think size is an issue, and I sure know his number now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Daryl, what number is he now?
yeah, do you know? Do you know? I think
40. Yeah, come
40?
back to me. I'll think about it.
Yeah. No, but this Flames team for the first half of the season, well, they're still kind of boring, but they're better now because they're getting a youth injection. Me, you, many people on social media have been asking for young players to be injected into this lineup because it was so goddamn boring for so long.
Oh yeah.
And we got Matthew Phillips for like a day. And do you know how much like that tweet got like 2,000 likes and everyone was so happy, and then they brought him up and then sent him down. And it was like, well, I guess we're back to this.
I don't think he's ever going to play for the Flames again.
Which is so sad because
It's devastating.
I know you love him and I know I love him, but
yeah, I'm fairly certain that he will never ever wear the Flaming C again. And that's no knock at the player. Everybody knows how much you and I love the guy, and you know, I talked to like when I even talking with Julian the other day about it, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's just a like not just an us thing, but like, you know, other people who have the same kind of fascination with with Phillips. It's just I don't think that it's going to it's not going to continue the way that everybody thinks it is, because everybody seemingly has a guy like Matty Phillips. The only difference is the Flames could use a guy like Matty Phillips. Nifty saying, you shut your mouth, Auddie. I hope that one is in regards to me saying that. I never think I'll see him again. The problem is he's a UFA this year. He's going to go somewhere else. Maybe a place like Arizona where he's going to play everyday NHL minutes. Like,
That would be good. Like
I don't know. Don't you think?
Chicago,
Yeah, like a team
Anaheim.
that's on the
I don't
a
know.
team that's like, just gonna fill like Phillips is too good for the A, I think, but just like not quite there at the NHL level yet. And I feel like that's kind of how everybody saw Vejmelka coming into this year too. And look at him. Look, well, not the same way, not this year, but like, you know what I'm having a hard
Yeah,
time
I know what you
explaining it, but you
mean.
know what I'm trying to say. Like a change of scenery with a team that is going to play him regular minutes in the NHL is going to be his benefit. And we're seeing it with what I'm trying to say is we're seeing it with Yusuf Alamaki. It wasn't going to
Yeah,
happen here in Calgary. He goes to Arizona. Look at this. He's got an extension. He's playing every day. He loves the system. He loves the spot he's in, and I feel like that's just going to be eventually what happens here with Matty Phillips.
yeah.
Come the off season.
No, it's what he deserves,
Yep.
and like I want him to get a fair shot. And like Valimaki, I think is top 10 in expected goals against among all defensemen, and I believe he's playing like upwards of 17 minutes a game. And
And he's
he
running the
calls
power
that
play.
one, yeah, power
Remember what he
play.
said to us when we talked to him? He just wants a chance on the power play, and look at how good he is on the power play.
Yeah, like he made a great defensive play on that one odd man rush for Calgary there, where I thought they were going to score again. And I thought he looked great. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'm assuming based on what he looked like on the ice, he looked pretty good. So
Yeah, the
yeah,
eye
nice to
tests.
see. Nice to see.
Yeah, it is nice to see, and it's gonna suck to see like a guy like Matty Phillips go, but um, bigger fan of the player than I am of the situation that he's in. So I just hope that I hope that it works out for him. But to kind of summarize on Peltier, it's nice to see um that kind of trust factor there. Like he hasn't been sent down. Like, do you think first of all, do you think that Peltier has played his final game for the Calgary Wranglers?
Ooh.
Like, do you think he's working his way to everyday NHLer?
I mean, he looks good, but I wouldn't put it past the Calgary Flames to trade like a second round pick for like Nick Bustad because he's 6'6" and then send Peltier down. I could see that as a possibility. Although if I was the coach, I don't like I'm not pulling Pelche out of that spot right now. I'm not even
Mm-mm.
close. Especially after tonight. Goal and assist. They showed him like practicing tipping pucks and stuff, and him and Jonathan Huberdeau have this like father-son relationship and stuff, and
Yeah, they
I
do.
love it.
I
The
know it's
French
awesome.
connection, like we
The
got the
they just
storyline.
they just need to go get Anthony Duclair now and really solidify that line as the French
Oh yeah,
connection. And
like
I don't think that's going to
Quebecois.
happen. Yeah, the Tabarnak line. Um, but let's see what happens there. I don't know, and that kind of leads me to like this constant up and down with the Calgary Flames and really not knowing, what they are or what the direction is. Like they're still in the hunt, but they're also like not, if that makes sense. Like that's just kind of how it feels. Like it's like, oh fuck, we should just throw in the towel now. But it's also like shit. Like they could do a little bit of like go on a little bit of a run
Hmm.
and sneak into a wild card spot here if this happens and this happens and this happens. And who knows what happens in the playoffs. So I don't really know what their direction is. But that's gonna dictate what they do come trade deadline, and it's going to be an interesting. March 3rd is going to be an interesting day. We're 9 days away. Like it's next Friday.
So yeah, like I mean, we saw two deals today. Things are
Yep.
picking up, which is fun. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Pierre
if I'm a
Dorian's
betting,
cooking. PD's cooking.
is
Let that
he?
man
I don't
cook.
know.
Let the man
I
cook.
don't know,
I'm
man.
calling it. PD's got something up his sleeve. He's cooking.
He's gonna trade for like Tyler Myers at like 25% retained, just because he's like 6'8" or something, and be like, "We fixed our defense," and I'll be like, "No, you
They're gonna
haven't."
go get Colton Pareko.
Eh, I don't
They
know. I
just moved
mean,
out the Zaitsev money. They're freeing it up. Who
that
knows?
does kind of make sense. They can't have Uyghur. Uyghur's our boy. He's staying.
I
So
can't believe that
suck
got
it,
out
Pierre.
that people thought that Was that Pagnotta?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
always
of course it
Pegwana. He
was.
just throws stuff at the wall and says 18,000 teams are linked to one
Oh
player, and
my
then he's like,
God! It was the Chikrin
"Got it
article
right."
where 11 teams were listed. I think, right? That's like
Yeah,
a third of the NHL was listed in the
it's
same
like
article as being linked to
great,
Jacob
great.
Pelletier.
You're doing great.
Great
Like
reporting. Great reporting. But we're not here to we're not here to talk
no,
about that.
no.
Okay, we're actually gonna start to put a bow on this episode of Game Over Calgary. Last call for any questions, comments, concerns about tonight's Calgary Flames win 6-3 over the Arizona Coyotes at Mullet Arena. I tried to find my mullet wig. I do have one somewhere.
Do you?
I do. Yeah, I can't find it, and it might be still be at my parents' house after I moved. I may have left it in my old closet at their place, but I do have a mullet wig from an old. We used to do this thing called the Beer Olympics with me and my buddies, and it was just we'd team up,
Nice.
and the one year, my buddy who was actually on Game Over the night of the the night of New Year's Eve, and he did the trivia for guessing the player names. A guy who's never watched hockey. Him and I were our dads, but when they were younger. My dad had a mullet when he
Nice.
was younger, so I was Tim with the mullet.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and yeah, it was quite funny. So I do have that mullet wig somewhere, but I do want a mullet arena mullet. That shit's cool. Like I think that's amazing that they handed out those mullets.
Yeah, that's cool. I was thinking about flying down for this game and checking it out, but like the atmosphere just seems cool. I want to see a game there before they leave because it's such just I don't think we're ever going to see this again.
No,
So,
no, it would,
and then
and it would.
I wouldn't have to watch the game on the camera angles. So
Yeah,
everything would be
you'd be
perfect.
living it. You'd be living it, man. Julian was there. Our pal from previously on the show, Mike Gould, was there, covering it for Daily Faceoff and Flames Nation. Bleh. But yeah, good looking atmosphere, and I hope everybody there. There were a lot of Flames fans too. I saw, I could hear them cheering. Here's a couple questions. What's this? Matty Phillips going to sign with the Oilers and win the cup. Blech. Blech.
Maybe McDavid's winning.
Yeah. Jacob Pelletier pocket dog challenge. J Money, please elaborate. Monty saying Daryl needs to go. His old school thinking doesn't work anymore. It's a young man's game. Give the kids the reign. And Gabriel saying, who starts next game, you reckon? Well, they play tomorrow against the Vegas Golden Knights, and it's going to be Markstrom.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
I probably. How would you have done it? Would you have started Markstrom tonight, or would you have stuck with Vladar?
I mean, I probably would have done what Daryl did, to be honest, to try and give them the best shot of winning in Vegas, even though they've never won in Vegas, and I don't think they will. But who knows?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's gonna be crucial here. I think they've only got like. I think it was in the win column group chat. I think it was Josh who put it in there about how many games were left against the East, and then the remainder are against the West. So it's going to come down to we're getting down to stretch time. And what was the number? Did you think?
I think it's 3
I think
left
so.
against the East, and it's Boston, Toronto, Ottawa.
So
Yeah.
so they'll beat Boston.
Yeah.
They'll beat Toronto, and they'll lose to Ottawa. The Flames way, baby. The Flames way. Hey, awesome. Thank you guys for sticking around. It was a late one, just about 11 o'clock local time here. So thank you for sticking it out. If you're listening on playback, please be sure to give us a good review. Give us a subscribe. Subscribe to SDPN Sports on YouTube. James, floor is yours. Everybody, you're basically a regular now. Everybody knows where you are, but for the newbies, let them know.
Wincolumn.ca at Wincolumn Calgary. We got good stuff. So
yes,
check this out.
Yes, be sure to check out the very talented team over at the Win Column. Follow James at James Johnson YYC on Twitter. Tomorrow, the Calgary Flames take on the Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. Peter Klein will have your call for Game Over Calgary. Thank you to SDPN. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you, JJ. And thank you to our friends over at Sports Interaction for sponsoring. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy the call tomorrow with Peter against the Vegas Golden Knights. This has been Game Over Calgary on the heels of a Calgary Flames win 6-3 over the Arizona Coyotes. Be safe, pals, and we will talk to you all later.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.